Open Windows is a postmodern parody of the found footage genre via Hitchcock, and it has Frodo in it. What more can you ask for? Yeah, kind of a fair amount. I'll tell you after the title sequence. Nick is the moderator of a website about Jill Goddard, one of the biggest actors in Hollywood. But after a run-in with a psychopath who's manipulated events to bring him closer to Jill, Nick is forced to save the life of his favourite actor while contending with hackers, cops, and a dangerous murderer, with the twist on the film being that this is all shown through Nick's laptop screen. With such a dramatic sounding plot, it's a nice surprise to find out that the movie is as funny as it is. One thing that struck me as particularly creative about Vigalondo's approach is the lengths to which he went to justify the conceit of the film, that it all took place on that one laptop. We have all kinds of different sources of action on the screen. We have Skype calls, encrypted calls, dashcam footage, wireless GoPros dotted around houses, 3D constructions built from sets of GoPros, footage from a webcam being fired through a window. And these aren't just stylistic flourishes, he uses it to bypass some of the problems of the found footage genre, mainly that it looks kind of bland, and actually do some more traditional horror choices. For one thing, he can kind of approximate traditional editing and pick his angles a little bit better when he can quickly move the camera on the desktop back and forward between different footage sources. This, combined with the conventional soundtrack and dips in and out of character audio when it's appropriate for conversations, ultimately makes this feel less like a kind of limitation on the film, like a lot of found footage movies do, and more like a stylistic flourish, like Rope. In fact, it's better to think of this movie less as a found footage and more like a Giallo film. Giallo, if you're not familiar with it, is an Italian horror genre from the 60s, 70s and 80s, and there's a lot of its hallmarks here. We've got shiny knives held in the hands of black glove killers, we've got beautiful women being spied on by voyeuristic perverts, and the vivid colours of the film and its campy humour really help to cement that feeling. Vigalondo's directing is the most fun thing about the movie. It's full of ideas, it's overflowing with energy, and the performances in the film are really good as well. In particular, Neil Maskell, who you'll know from The Kill List, as a kind of kind of baddie, kind of evil figure. I don't want to spoil it too much for you, so I won't get any further than that. But unfortunately, Vigalondo's writing has way too many ideas, and in fact, he tries to cram about 8 into the last half hour of the film, which makes it a little bit end-heavy, and ultimately a lot of those twists don't really land properly. I mean, that might almost be like a kind of deliberate thing, like a stylistic choice that harkens back again to the Giallos, because they're covered in plot holes, especially in their last parts where there's all these twists and turns and stuff. But for a modern audience, and particularly for people who aren't familiar with that genre, that's going to be a lost joke, even if it is a joke, and so that is something that the film kind of like suffers for. For me, it wasn't too important. I never really believed in the phrase style over substance. I think sometimes style can be its own substance. I really enjoyed this picture. So Open Windows is definitely worth opening your windows for. Would you say that? Download it. Download it off iTunes. That would be another way of saying it, yeah. And watch Open Windows. I mean, even if you don't really like the film much, I think you will enjoy it. It's a really funny, fun film. So that's it from me. If you have any problems with my review, then please let me know down below. I'd love to know what you thought about Open Windows. And hey, if you loved the review, like if you thought it was one of the best things you've ever seen, then yeah, just like let me know, because that would be a real big self-esteem boost for me. Click the subscribe button to make sure you get the next review when it comes out next week. I'll see you then. Have a good one.